Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back. It's Joseph, and I'm recapping last night's premiere of season 23 of The Bachelor. On this video, I'm going to talk about where I was right for my preview video, the format, because it was a little bit different of last night's episode. I'm going to talk about some first impressions that I had, what I hated, and what I loved. And also, I'm going to tell you at the end who goes home, so be sure to stick around for that. Let's start out where I was right. Two things where I was right. Now, he said it jokingly. We knew this was coming. It's kind of become a whole big thing now. But when Chris Harrison goes, "Now welcome back to the most epic, most dramatic season of The Bachelor yet." It happened. We all knew it was coming. That was an easy observation for me. So don't give me too much credit on that. We all saw it coming. The second one, at one point, Colton, during one of those little side interviews, remember how I talked about how stressed and flustered and overwhelmed he was going to be? Well, he was just that last night. He was like, "I'm going to date more girls than I ever have in my entire lifetime in one night. This is overwhelming. This is a lot. It's a lot of pressure. It is overwhelming." And that's exactly what he was. It came straight from his mouth. He is overwhelmed. So as I predicted, Colton is going to have to deal with that pressure and some confrontation early and often from this house. Now, let's talk about the format. So it was 3 hours. There was a live aspect to it. They had different hosts, former contestants. Chris Harrison was hosting a party in LA. They had contestants there as well. They also had hosts set up in Dallas, Texas, Park City, Utah, Lansing, Michigan. And I thought this was pretty cool. It was different. It was different. It made the 3 hours go by, a little bit faster. It was different. It just wasn't them at the house the whole night during, a super long, drawn out cocktail hour or anything like that. So it was different, and I was liking it. Until Chris showed up. Who's Chris? Chris, aka Goose, aka the worst person ever. I can't stand Chris. If you've seen my videos before, you know that I can't stand Chris. I couldn't stand him on The Bachelorette with Becca. I couldn't stand him in Paradise. I can't stand Chris. He's the freaking worst. So I was enjoying it until he showed up. I really just cannot... I just can't stand him. Why couldn't they give us hosts that we, guys that we enjoy? Like, where was Jordan? Where was Dean? Guys that we like, guys that we would have much rather have seen, especially me, than Goose. Gosh, I just can't stand him. And it also got very cheesy. First off, I can't believe they didn't give us an over-under. I can't believe they didn't get us a betting line on how many proposals there were going to be. There were 2 real proposals, plus, like a fake, fan one with Ben. I couldn't believe this. It was like proposal after proposal. It just kept happening. It was very cheesy, very staged. It didn't seem very natural. Probably not the way, if I was a woman, I would want to be proposed to. Unless, of course, you're a Bachelor or Bachelorette super fan. And I want to talk about Caitlin for a second. She was one of the hosts. I believe that she was in Dallas, Texas. And she called out Bree, who I'm going to explain what she did. So Bree is one of the contestants. As they get out of the limos, they have, their stick, their little act that they do, their greeting with Colton. And they asked Caitlin about it. She was like, I didn't really like it. It was pretty cheesy. You can't say something cheesy when earlier in the night you were reeling in another host, a shark, as you called it. She's like, "Oh, I got a bite. What do I got? What do I got? I got a bite. I got her. You can't say something's cheesy when you do something like that. Oh my gosh, it was so painful and so hypocritical to watch and hear her say that. Caitlin, shame on you. Absolutely shame on you. Let's get into first impressions. Let's talk about Bree now. So this is what Bree did. She got a lot of hype going up into this episode because of that video that was going around, her greeting with Colton. She came out speaking an Australian accent, and Colton was like, "Oh, that's a lovely accent. Where are you from?" She goes, "It's an Australian accent." She didn't say that she was from there, so she didn't lie about this. But this is diabolical. This is so great. This is the drama. This is why I am such a fan of this show, because of things like this. This is winning and standing out by any means necessary. Golf clap. Salute to you, Bree. Keep it up. She, because of that first impression is my way too early to predict winner of this whole thing. Bree, she's my week 1 favorite to go on because of this reason. I love it. Now we have Miss North Carolina and Miss Alabama. And they have already competed through the pageant circuit, so we already have some bad blood. We have a rivalry already. They walk into a room, she's like, "Oh, I know her. I've competed against her. she beat me and blah, 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 blah. This is so great. One of them was wearing a sash that said Miss Underwood on it. This is going to be great. It's going to be so petty. It's going to be so much fun. There's some bad blood. We got a rivalry. Heads are butting already. This is terrific. And here's what I hated. Here's what I didn't like. First off, Alex D, the sloth. What is with the costumes? Like, we've seen the Waboom guy. We've seen a chicken. We had the horse and carriage. We had Cinderella. And now a sloth. This isn't the Masked Singer. This is the Bachelor. Have some damn respect. God. Really grinds my gears. Really gets me going. And now Erica. Erica was the one during their little talk during the cocktail hour where she came right out and said it. And was just like, Colton, why are you a virgin? Are you waiting on marriage? And I don't mind her asking this. If this wouldn't have been already so documented, Colton has addressed this, and he gave us the same answer that he always has. You know, I'm not waiting for marriage. Professional life, football, Colton got in my way. And I'm not waiting for marriage. I'm just waiting for someone I love. I'm waiting for the right relationship. This has already been documented. This kind of reminds me, and if you haven't seen this clip, check it out. When Jerry Seinfeld is on CNN with Larry King, and Larry King is like, this is after Seinfeld was off the air. Now, you canceled them. They didn't cancel you. Jerry Seinfeld's looking around like, canceled me? There's a big difference between being number one and being canceled. Can I get a resume out here? You know, final episode, 75 million viewers. Like, this has already been documented. Like, don't be redundant. This was just redundant to me. I didn't like it. Like, come on, Erica, do your homework. Be prepared. Don't ask redundant, silly questions. That's not how you stand out on this show. And then one of the girls, I don't even know her name. She probably went home, but she's sitting around and, you know, they're all drinking. And she's like, I'm just so stressed out. I haven't been able to talk to Colton yet. Yeah, that's because you're sitting there getting drunk on watered down cranberry vodka like you're a 14-year-old girl. Get off your ass and go over there and talk to him. You know, everyone just wants to sit back and have them come to him. There's 30 girls and one guy. He's overwhelmed. You know, you have to stand out. You just can't sit there and then, you know, complain about how stressed out you are and you haven't been able to get a word in. Like, it's not going to happen if you just sit there. You got to make some of your own luck. You got to make some things happen for yourself. Now, what I loved. First off, Hannah G, she got the first impression rose and absolutely deserved it. This girl is cute. She's sweet. She seems very sincere. Her and Colton really connected. Colton even said, you know, she reminds me of home. And I thought that was so sweet. They have a nice connection early on. Hannah G, I'm going to put her right up there with Bree. Hannah G is more of a real contestant I see going very long in this because of the connection and the foundation that they seem to have already after night one. Now, my favorite. This is why I watch this show. This is why I tune in. For Catherine, she's a chatty Cathy. That's what I'm going to be calling her. That's what I'm going to be referring to her as. With her fake hair extensions, with her plastic boobs and her plastic face. This has to be a record. Interrupt girls 4 times last night during the cocktail hour, during the cocktail party. 4 times she interrupted girls, and one of them even brought her to the side, and I thought this was very nice. She's like, listen, you know, I've been hearing some things. You know, you've been interrupting some of the girls. There's a lot of us here. She was being very nice. She was just explaining things. And Catherine was like, oh my gosh, like she looked like she recepted it very well. But of course she didn't. She did it 2 more times after that. It was ridiculous. Colton was even like, 4th time the charm. This was unreal. It was so funny. Keep going, Catherine. This is what I love. She got the final rose of the night. And I love how they try to, you know, make it so dramatic at the end. You know, the long pause, the sigh, the close-up on the final rose. We all knew it was going to Catherine. They're not kicking someone like this off the first night. She's too good for television. Of course she was going to stick around. Oh, I just love how amateurs, dude. Flipping amateurs. So before I let you guys go, I'm going to tell you who went home. Alex D, the sloth, no surprise. Laura, Revian, Aaron, Devin, Tajuan, and Jane. Those were our 7 of the 30 girls that went home on night 1. So I cannot wait to talk to you guys next week after Monday's episode. Be sure to comment down below what you thought about the episode. Let's start a dialogue. Let's go back and forth there. That'll be really fun. So thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, be sure to like this video, subscribe to my channel, and follow me on Instagram, all linked down below. Talk soon.